Hello, Bill Tucker. I want to talk about resistance. Resistance to letting him in. Resistance to feeling in any way, shape or form. And the resistance is about pushing people away and keeping yourself in, because we can't push people away for any reason without keeping myself in. So, the resistance I'm really talking about is resistance to feeling how we feel, and it's about judging emotions as bad. You see, emotions, the very word emotion means energy in motion. And any emotions should be passing through. But the problem is, as human beings, we judge the emotion, or we don't want to feel, we resist the emotion and we push it down. And it's almost like trying to keep a lid on something that there shouldn't be a lid on anyway. And we're emotional human beings. This is how we're wired, this is how we are. And the problem in doing that, one, we feel pain, because all resistance is pain, and all suppression is pain, and two, because it stops the flow, because the energies are meant to be in motion, and we're not meant to feel happy all the time, sad all the time, whatever all the time. We're not meant to feel in love all the time. The same as there's light and there's darkness. So this is nature, and everything in nature is cyclical. So, but the resistance, I really want to help you with the resistance, because anything or anyone in life that we resist, we're also pushing that man away. So it's massively important to check in with anything or anyone that we are resisting in our life. And that includes feeling. So, when we feel real pain from an emotion, because emotions are flowing through us all the time. Sometimes we're a little bit here, sometimes a little bit there, sometimes over there. Whatever emotion it is, when we actually feel that emotion, and this is what I want to practice with, when we feel this emotion, whether it's sadness, whether it's loss pain, whether it's... I'll keep grief out of the picture, because grief is a different story. There's quite a few stages in grief, but I'm speaking short term here rather than just the long term of grief, which can be long term. I'm speaking about any emotions that we feel in the present day, because our emotions cannot possibly change unless we've been triggered. We've heard something, we've saw something, we've smelled something. There's something that's triggered us back to an old memory in the past that was negative, shall we say. And we can choose to feel better and let some of the resistance go by choosing to look at something that's really nice, like a plant or a nature or a flower or a child or your pet or whatever. And we can choose to feel better. But I'm really talking about the resistance to feeling how we feel. As soon as you feel that feeling, whatever it is, whether it's sadness, loss, fear, acknowledge it, immediately acknowledge it, and let it pass through. I want you to stop where you are and just take a few breaths. Take a few breaths for 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 seconds. And that feeling, that emotion will have passed through. And even if it's still hanging around, it's okay, because the intensity is gone. It's almost like holding a breath and trying to feel safe. You can't do that. And emotions are the same. We can't hold an emotion down, because it's energy in motion. Now the problem here is, then we judge how we feel, but we're actually judging the resistance to how we feel rather than the emotion itself. And you may say, well, it's a really fine line, and it is, but it's massive. It's absolutely massive. And when we can become aware and acknowledge the resistance to how we feel, the resistance to feeling the emotion, whoa, the whole light comes off. Because it's not the emotion itself, it's the resistance to feeling the emotion. It's massive. And when we can let some of that resistance go, we're free. So whether we are still stuck in the loss pain of that guy, or the fear of being alone, or the sadness, or whatever it is, then we're stuck in pain. But I wanted to separate and differentiate between the resistance to feeling how we feel and the emotion itself. because this will soften everything that's going on. And any resistance to feeling anything or being stuck in any negative emotion, memory, circumstance from the past connected to that guy, the betrayal or the hurt or whatever he did or didn't do, then when we resist feeling those emotions, then we're suppressing them. And that resistance is causing much more pain. So it's really, really good to acknowledge that. And it takes a little bit of fine tuning but we're just not used to doing it. And that's the problem. But any resistance to anything pushes him away. Not good. It's not what you want, obviously. And I want to help you let this resistance go and acknowledge that it's not how you feel, it's just the resistance to feeling how we feel. That's it. Because as soon as we feel that resistance, then we judge it, and then we have to suppress it through busyness, drama, shopping, alcohol, drugs, TV, whatever it is, even pharmaceutical drugs. Now, because emotions are energy in motion, they have to be in motion. The same as we have to be in motion. It's not good for energy to be stuck, and it's not good for us to feel stuck. So I want to acknowledge this. And it may take a little bit of fine-tuning, as I say, because it's really strange. It's weird in the beginning. Go, hang on, it's just this, but it's not. It's that emotion, but it's a resistance to feeling the emotion. And the easiest way to work with the emotion is to stop where you are when you feel the emotion. Go, ooh, check in, become the observer, become the little kid who's felt that emotion for the first time in their life. Even if you fear it's going to be too painful, it's going to overwhelm you. Because it's this fear, again, we suppress it. We resist feeling that. But it doesn't overwhelm you at all. So as soon as you feel the emotion or the change in how you feel, stop wherever you are and go, let's just breathe into this. Let's just check in with this. And just sit and breathe. 10, 15, 20, 30 seconds. Just focusing on where it is in the body, if you want, if that feels good to you, or just focus on the breath, or whatever feels right to you. And it'll pass. I promise you it'll pass. It'll keep coming back, maybe, for a while, but that's okay, because we're not resisting it. So the key words always is to become aware, acknowledge, honour how we feel about it, and heal it. And healing doesn't mean necessarily go in and do therapy on it or something like that. Absolutely. If you have to, absolutely. But it means just being aware and letting go of the resistance and letting go of the reluctance to go there. Because people have said to me over the years, and I've worked with thousands of people over the years, and said, but I fear going into a big dark tunnel. I fear being sucked in. I fear being overwhelmed. I fear going to a place where I can't cope. Sometimes I even fear going into a nervous breakdown. So the important thing in all of this is to soften it and become used to softening it. And as soon as we feel different, you go, oh, hello, what's going on here? And immediately check back, who did you just speak to? What just changed in your life before the emotion changed? Because something has to change every single time, no exceptions. Was it a phone call? Was it a text? Was it a post on Facebook? Was it a thought, a memory? Was it a smell? Was it a taste? Was it a foodstuff? Was it something? Because something triggers us from the past. So just check in. As soon as that feeling changes, check in. Oh, what just changed at a circumstantial level in my life? Who did I speak to? Who did I connect with? Was it a phone call, the text, whatever it was? And even the sound of a phone becomes a trigger. So change your ringtones, change everything as often as you want, or to check in to see what's going on. Maybe it's the ex, maybe it's whatever it is. Or even a look from someone, or the tone of the voice. Maybe the trigger, back to mum, back to dad, whoever. Or any time you felt fearful, where you had to walk around in eggshells. So just check in all the time, because we've just gotten so used to suppressing how we feel. It's become a national disease. It really has. And I get it. I was alcoholic for 20 years. I know what suppression's all about. I really get it. But I've been dry for 20 years. And I understand the difference in how I feel now compared to how I felt then. You know, and the freedom I have now compared to what I thought I had then. No comparison. But it takes a lot more courage to honour how we feel and go into those emotions and acknowledge them and just be the observer of them rather than the suppressor. Yeah. And I can promise you, the more we let go of any resistance in our life whatsoever, closer that guy comes. Yeah. Resistance closes the door, shuts the door. It's like talking to someone who says, I don't want to hear what you say. Bang. There's the ultimate resistance. And this is what we do to ourselves in subtle, subtle, subtle amounts every time. So, again, any comments down below? Absolutely fantastic. And let me know what you've discovered. And the more we can soften this, and people say, well, Bill, I just want that guy. This is it. This is it. I promise you, this is it. This is the quickest way. And say, oh, but there's too much. There's this. You talk about this, and you talk about this. We don't have to do it all. We just have to focus on the ones that feel most relevant to ourselves. And just, listen to the rest. Check in with ourselves, with our life, with our patterns, our behaviours, what's been happening. Our circumstances tell us where we are and what's going on. And so, we don't have to change everything. We just have to change some. Key. And sometimes you just change one and it just, whoa, opens the door. Like the clouds parting. And lets him come through. Yeah. You've already set your intention. He's already there. We just have to get this stuff out of the way to let him come through. So, Bill Tugger, datinginsidesecrets.com, and I look forward to connecting very soon. Bye for now then.